So, although today the date on your opener says 2-5, I want you guys to go ahead and do me a favor and scratch it and put 2-12. So on your opener where it says 2-5, just put a line through it for me and go ahead and relabel it as the 12. So we're going to do 2 openers today, which is going to kind of be a review before you actually start working on your triad review. So the first opener we have, we're doing a function table. So it says complete the function table, plot the points, then draw the line. Now when we complete a function table, we graph the points and we draw our line, we should always end up with a straight line. If it does not end up with a straight line, that means 2 things. 1, we calculated our output incorrectly, or 2, you plotted your points incorrectly. So let's look here. The x is called your what? What's the x column called? This has nothing to do with slope. What's the x column called? This column here is called your
income. Wait, no.
Close. Input. So this is your input. Basically, it means you're going to input that number for the variable x to solve and get what the y is going to equal to. So our y is going to be called the, say it again, output. Now, this one we can't just put y equals. We have to put the function of or y of whatever we insert for the variable x. So when I go to write this, or when you guys go to tell me, you'll have to tell me the function of or y of 6 equals 3/4. 3/2 times 6 minus 4. So you won't say y times 6 or y parentheses 6. It's y of 6 or the function of 6. From here, I go ahead and solve. So if you remember your calculators, if you type in the fraction 3/2 times 6, it'll give you the answer. Or you can do it by longhand by taking 3 times 6 divided by 2. So what's 3/2 times 6? 9. Okay, so I'm going to put down my 9. What else do I have to bring down next? My minus 4. So what's 9 minus 4? 5. So my output is 5. So when I go to write my answer for my output, though, I have to put the function of 6, because that's what I input for my x, equals 5. Then the last column, I just write my ordered pairs. My x value was 6. My y value was 5. Okay? So let's look at this next one. Brendan, tell me what I'm going to write. Okay? All right, keep going. So what's 3/2 times 2? Okay, type in your calculator. 3/2. That's your answer. Yeah, that's going to be your answer. But before you give me the straight up answer for that, I want you to tell me what 3/2 times 2 is going to be. Just the first part. 3. So I'm going to take 3, drop down my minus 4 because I'm going to show that little bit of work. And then Brendan told us 3 minus 4 is going to be -1. So my output column, how would I write that, Brendan? No. The function of? No. The function of? What did you put in for that x here? 2 equals what? What did it equal? -1. And then your ordered pair? Let's see. Okay? Good. All right, the next one, Deontay. Tell me what I'm going to write. Deontay Nelson, look up here.
What's up?
Tell me what I'm going to write.
Right. Y.
No. Okay, go ahead. I shouldn't have interrupted you. Keep going.
Y press C.
No! I
What's big deal?
can't do it like
Oh,
that.
the function of Y
There. Whew. No.
equals 3, 2.
No. You're still wrong.
Let me.
Alright, the function is 0.
Okay. Hallelujah. Third time's charm, though. Okay, go ahead.
Then equals 3 over 2. 0, and put in parentheses.
Okay.
Minus 4. And then divided by the 3. Multiply by 3 is 0. Then divided by 2.
Which equals?
Still 0.
Good.
Then negative 4.
Which equals? 0 minus 4. You just said it. Negative 4.
Then put the fraction of 0 equals negative 4. Then put 0. Comma negative 4.
Good.
Good.
Hey, follow along with
Uh,
me. Follow along with me. Good. Okay. So now that we have our ordered pairs, we're going to go through and we're going to graph them. Means keep that opener on the top of that other one. We'll get there. So we're going to graph our ordered pairs. So anytime that you go to graph your ordered pairs, you always start at the origin. You go and find your x value, then you find your y value, then you plot that point. So the first one here, my ordered pair is 6, 5. So my coordinate plane, I start at the origin, I go to the right 6 on my x-axis, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then I go up 5. And I plot my first point. Okay? My next ordered pair, I start at my origin. What do, Kelsey?
Go to the right 2,
And then,
down 1.
in my last ordered pair, Rihanna.
0, and then down negative 4.
Good. When you graph your line, when I was grading tests over the weekend, I had a lot of lines that were drawn crooked, so they lost a point, or they are drawn short like this, they didn't extend. So make sure when you draw the line, it goes from one side of the coordinate plane to the other side of the coordinate plane. Make sure you have your arrows. I'll be so grateful when graphing is over and I can get these lines perfect. Okay. Or I don't have to worry about perfect lines. So make sure your line is nice, long. It goes to the end of the coordinate plane. You have your arrows, and it goes through all of your plotted points. Okay? It'll be worth 3 points on your test. Okay, flip this opener over. So let's look at the back side of this one here.
Across the backside? What the heck?
Okay, now, this one, to me, is the most difficult for my kiddos, for my students to remember. So it says, find the intercepts of the line given by the equation by setting x equals 0, y equals 0. Write each intercept as an ordered pair, then plot them on the graph line. So this is where you're going to find a y-intercept and an x-intercept. So you're going to come up with 2 ordered pairs. You're going to have to set that by using x equals 0, solving the equation, then y equals 0, solving the equation. So when you go to take your test on Wednesday, this part right here is worth 1 point. Where I put the x equals 0, the y equals 0, that will be a point on your exam. So with that, I then go through, I use the equation 3x minus 5y equals 15, but what am I going to substitute for first? What do I substitute? For that x, I substitute a 0. So 3 times 0 minus 5y equals 15. From here, I'm going to go ahead and circle the variable. I'm going to draw my line of equality. That is worth a point. All right. Now, 3 times 0, I can just get rid of that because that's going to be 0. I now need to solve for the variable y. How do I get the y by itself? Divide by what type of 5?
Negative.
Negative 5, yeah, don't forget that negative. So I'm going to divide each side by negative 5. So then y is going to equal 15 divided by negative 5? negative 3. Now I write my ordered pair. Remember, an ordered pair is made up of x and y. X comes first. So what did I say my x value is going to be? So my x value is 0. Then what's my y value? Negative 3. Okay. So now I go to the other side here. I use the exact same equation, except for this time, what do I substitute? Y for 0. So I'm going to have 3x minus 5 times 0 equals 15. I'm going to circle my variable x. I'm going to draw my line of equality. And now negative 5 times 0 is 0. I don't need it, so I'm going to get rid of it. And then I solve. Divide by 3. Give me just a second to catch up here. I bring my x down. Now, see how I brought the x down? That's the variable I'm solving for. So I bring my x down. 15 divided by 3, he said was 5. So, what is my x value? 5. What's my y value? 0. So there's my two ordered pairs I am going to graph.
You gotta put this in line too?
It will make a straight line. Yes, please draw your line. Yes, draw your line. So you go to your coordinate plane, you start at your origin. I'm graphing the 0, negative 3 first, so I start at my origin. What do? I what? Say it again.
Go down 3.
Go down 3. Plot a point. Okay. Then I go to my second ordered pair, 5, 0. So I start at my origin and I go. And then I'm going to make sure my line goes from one side of the coordinate plane to the other. Okay. See what we talked about this morning? All right, we ready to move on? So that's the first opener. So I'm going to stop. I'm going to get set up for the next one.